Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the season finale of the Fit4Lyfe Lifestyle Podcast. I am Anthony Changes. She is Sandy Tachi, and today we are joined by the 2021 Men's Transformation Challenge champion, Raul Alvarez. What's going on, brother?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing well.
Awesome. Thanks for inviting me, guys.
Welcome, bro. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
Happy to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a great week. We are officially in the last week of April, so final burpee countdown.
Thank
for
God.
everybody doing their burpees.
I broke 100.
Okay, you listen.
I broke 100. To me, that's a lot.
Listen, that might
I've been
be,
taking my time.
And that might be more than Coach Jason, but I didn't say that, okay?
No, she definitely didn't say that. Y'all definitely didn't hear Sandy's voice or see her face on camera utter those words.
Even my kids told their father last night, Dad, did you do 160,000 burpees? Because someone happened to add a couple zeros on the board.
Someone.
So, but yeah, we are officially in our last couple days. We have 3 days. By the time you guys hear this, we will be done with the April Burpee Challenge.
Well, I was done with the challenge a couple weeks ago, but yes, officially the challenge will be over.
Yes, officially be over. We just did our the 5K on Sunday, so that was cool. A lot of people showed up. That was a lot of fun.
That was awesome.
People ran it, walked it, brought their dogs out, so that was cool.
Some people complained the whole way.
Yeah, the whole way.
That was me. But I did get it done. A lot of people asked me if that was my personal best, and I don't know. Because I'm usually really delirious after every run.
Yeah, I think it was your best.
I mean, it felt like my best.
Yeah, how many 5Ks have you run?
A handful, less than 6.
Did you run it or?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't like that tone you took. Like.
I'm just saying. I would have walked it.
He ran it, but not by choice because he was.
Okay.
He had like
peer pressure.
He had like 5 or 6 people with him, undercover coaches.
All of them, every last one. I was like, they're growing and multiplying. It's like a secret network of like, let's make sure he does what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was fun. I definitely enjoyed. I always enjoy it. I mean, and I think I texted you this last night. Like, I don't want to enjoy running, but I think I'm slowly getting to that point where it's like, it's kind of fun.
I'm starting to work on my way into that. Like, I did biking for a while.
Yeah.
Because it's easier on the knees.
Yeah.
For sure.
But, since I've been training here, I've been feeling like in better shape, feeling stronger.
Yeah.
So I think I'm ready to go into that world.
Yeah, you want to take on the running world.
Man, I'm telling you, you be careful what you ask for, bro. If there's one thing I can teach you, it's don't share your goals with your coaches.
No, all right.
Especially when they're sitting right next to you.
They will hold you accountable.
Hold you accountable. So the next 5K that we have is on. You know.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, and then don't even listen to that because I ran a surprise 5K. It wasn't even like hey, we're running a 5K on.
Oh,
this
you didn't
day.
know you were in a 5K?
No. They were like, hey, we're gonna run a 5K. I was like, what's that? I was like, we'll show you. And then we ran forever. It felt like. And then they critiqued my run. They were like, your feet sound really heavy. And I'm like, madam, everything about me is very heavy. But it was good. So Raul, give us a little rundown as to who you are, a little background as to what you do.
Well, my name is Raul Alvarez. I'm a father of 2 children. I'm a martial arts instructor. I own my own business right here in Cooper City.
Nice.
So I've owned my business for about 9 years now, but I've been martial arts altogether for about a little over 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah. I originally started in Miami Lakes. I helped run a school over there for about 12 years or so for my instructor. We did that for a bit. I learned so much information from him. He was a mentor. He passed away of cancer many years ago, but learned so much from him. Took a little 5-year break, went into business to business sales. So I was just selling copiers and
I did copiers.
You did copiers too?
Like a week.
Get out of here.
I did copiers. Who was it for? What company?
It was for a company called U.S. Office Solutions. They got bought out by another company called, I think, CompuNet.
Okay, I did for Saxon.
Oh, Saxon.
Yes.
So you're my competitor.
Oh my God, yes.
You probably stole my business.
Competitors anymore.
Not anymore.
Right?
That's a tough business.
Hard.
It's a tough business. It's really grind your teeth type of business, real aggressive.
So you just call people like, hey, you need some copiers?
Listen, let me tell you something.
No.
It's a lot of cold calling, a lot of telemarketing. I mean, I literally got thrown out of buildings by old ladies. Like, seriously, there's a big guy over there walking in, just trying to get a card, just trying to get a lead. And they're like, you can't solicit here, and they kick me right out. And you know,
it's
a lot of no's.
It's a hard business.
It really is.
They had stuck me in the center of Coral Gables was my territory.
Yeah.
And so it was all like high-rise buildings, this and that, whatever. And that is a hard. And when they said cold calling, I thought you were like calling on the phone. No, you're walking into.
You're walking in.
It's hot walking because there's no such thing as cold walking.
You're walking into this business. That's a really hard business.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
I did that for about 5 years. And then from there, you know, the market crashed and my pay was going just tanking. Because I mean, if businesses are closing down, then no one's using paper and you know, people are getting laid off. So you know, my salary was going down. So I was like, I got to do something. I got to get back into martial arts. It's what I love. It's what I enjoy.
Nice.
But I want to do it on my own terms. So I scraped together just 10 grand. And I got a little space in Davie. You know where the Target is?
Yeah.
Where Lagori's used to be?
Yeah.
Right next door, little small bay.
Oh, cool.
So my wife and I, my kids, we, you know, all we just had were mats and a couple fold-out chairs and some paint on the wall from Walmart.
That's it.
And we did that for about a year. We cranked it to about 80 students.
Wow.
And then from there, we were getting tight in there. We moved across the street. And then before COVID, of course, we got to as high as 240 students.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what form of martial arts? I mean,
I teach two. Taekwondo, which is Korean based, and then also Krav Maga, which is Israeli based. The Krav Maga is very popular. I think most people know it from various movies like Batman and also J-Lo had a movie from Enough. I don't remember that one where she was in a marital.
Yes, I like that movie.
Everyone likes seeing the guy get his ass kicked. Everyone likes seeing that.
Yeah.
So that's a movie that used Krav Maga, and anyway, basically it's not really a martial arts. It's more of a self-defense system,
right? Where
basically there's anything goes. You know, you can do anything you want to get home safe to your family. So punches, kicks to the nads, eye gouges, biting, anything you have to do to get home. You do it. Now, and at the same time, you get in shape doing, practicing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could practice eye gouging.
Well, I do drills. I do fun drills where I'll take paper and have them put it real quick, and they'll stab the paper sometimes.
Gotcha.
But we don't practice eye gouging that much. To be honest with you.
I was like,
we're doing a lot of palm strikes. We're saving the nails for the ladies.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff like that. But business has been going great, and actually even after COVID, we're picking back up again little by little. So. Yeah, I'm very blessed.
That's awesome. That's a really cool business.
Yeah.
My kids did. I think we did karate. We did karate. So what's the difference?
So Taekwondo is a type of karate.
Okay.
It's just it's mainly focused on kicks.
Gotcha.
I mean, there's hand techniques, of course.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of it is based on using the longer extremity of your body. So
gotcha.
Your legs is longer than your arms. So thus I'll have more distance and I'll have more power.
I see.
And then there's other types of karate like Shotokan, where a lot of it is punches.
Yeah.
So but Taekwondo is more. I'll be honest with you, it's more of a young man's sport.
Yeah.
So that I think in essence that's the reason why the Krav Maga is a little bit more easier to sell.
Yeah.
Especially to the adult crowd.
Right.
Because people, they're not trying to throw their leg up over there.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Not at all.
Yeah. Even myself. I mean, I do enough just to keep teaching.
Right.
But a lot of my stuff in training now is either Krav Maga or the Jiu Jitsu, which I recently got my black belt.
Congratulations. That's so cool.
I got that, and anybody will tell you, a Jiu Jitsu black belt a real Jiu Jitsu black belt is tough to earn. It took me 10 years.
Wow.
Just to get that belt. Yeah. And it's not about the belt. It truly is about the journey.
Of course.
I mean, I remember my first day. Real quick, funny story.
We love those.
Always, tell stories.
So my first day in jiu-jitsu, I went with this guy, super strong guy, and I knew martial arts already, so I'm thinking, but my ground game sucked. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna maneuver my way out here, and I'm gonna know how to breathe. I'm gonna position myself properly. All that shit went out the window. Dude got down on top. He got on top of me. I think he weighed maybe like $180, but he felt like 300 pounds. There's just a certain position that you sit yourself heavy. There's a Brazilian term for it. I forget. I misplaced the name, but. He sits heavy on me, and I swear to God, like my inner bitch came out. I was like, it came out. And I was like, where did that come from?
It's like my kid screaming in the bathroom.
Anyway, you just can't breathe, you can't move.
Oh my gosh.
And most people, especially in jiu-jitsu, let me finish my statement. most people would just turn around and say, screw this, I'm not going back to that. This is my last day. But there's certain people that will say, I want to learn that. Like, I want that control.
Yeah.
I want that power. And that's me.
That's cool.
So I stuck around and said, no, I got to learn that.
That's very
Show
cool.
me that. And how long is it going to take? Oh, you're going to live here. Okay. I ain't going nowhere.
Right.
Sign me
Where do I
up.
sleep? Where do I sleep? Go ahead.
Yeah. So it's been a great compliment to my martial arts. A lot of my martial arts is stand up, so
Right.
it's punching and kicking. And another reason why I joined is because I got into mixed martial arts and actual MMA cage fighting.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. So I managed to get in 2 fights. I wanted to do 3, but the school took off, like I told you earlier. So I had to focus on business.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was the first fight I did. I won by knockout, and the guy, he was a wrestler. I just didn't give him a chance to take me to the ground.
Right.
And if he would have, I was like, man, what about my next fight? What if he takes me to the ground? What am I gonna do? So
Yeah.
I better find something. And that's how I found Jiu Jitsu.
Wow.
That's-
So you teach 2 forms.
2 forms.
So how many are you trained in?
I'm trained. Well, I'm in Taekwondo. I'm a 5th degree in Taekwondo, and then in Jiu Jitsu, I'm a black belt, and in Krav Maga, I'm a green belt. So pretty much, throughout the whole 25-year plus time span, I've been training in all of them.
And how did you get into martial arts?
Wow, you know what? So that goes back to '93. My girlfriend dumped me. I was just, we've been there before. You get crushed.
Yeah.
And nothing. I was just down in the dumps. Zero confidence. A buddy of mine was. We were gonna go to a club or something, and I had to go pick him up out of school. This was in Miami Lakes, by the way. I want to go pick him up. And he was like, wait for me, I'm finishing my class. So I'm like, okay, cool. And I had never walked into a martial arts school ever, like for the first time. Whatever you see on TV, whatever, but first time. I stepped into a karate school. Or at least I thought it was karate at the time. I walked in, I look in the window, and I see a class of like 40, 50 plus adults. And they're ranging from all different walks of life. There's nurses, there's doctors, there's police officers, whoever. And they're all standing at attention, and they're all in formation. And then there's this one instructor that comes out. His name is Jose Warbe. He was actually the instructor, and shout out to him. He's an awesome guy. But I saw him, and he walked on the floor, and they called everyone to attention. They all turned to him, and then they all snapped together. Wow.
Ooh.
And they all bowed, and they all faced the floor. Yes, sir. They all snapped to attention. I was just like, God damn. I was blown away.
Yes.
I'm blown away right now.
Yeah. And he walks in. He walks to the front of the class, and he bows everybody in, and then he's drilling everybody, and all these people are like doing everything he says. I go, I want to do that. That's what I want to do. Like, that's freaking awesome. And then the instructor that was, I guess, the program director, he was nearby, and he just saw me looking at the class. He walks up to me. Thank God he did.
Your jaw dropped like, wow.
Yeah, he was like,
I'm gonna get him.
yeah, I was like maybe 17 or 18, something like that. He calls up to me. He's like, hey, are you interested in martial arts? And I didn't know he was selling to me. I didn't realize he was trying to sign me up.
You probably would have bought a copy at
Probably.
that point.
I was just like, yeah, I'm interested. Like, I'm interested. So he takes me in the office and gives me the whole spiel, and he gives me everything. I'm just thinking we're just having a conversation. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, this is cool. Oh, wow, this is it. He's like, so you ready to start? I'm like, start? Like, I get to do this? So, yeah, and then I was like, yeah, sure. It was $75 for 1 month, and I dropped it and never looked back.
That's awesome.
And
What
I
a
stuck
story.
with it. Yeah. And
Very
I
cool.
forgot about that girl, by the way.
Yeah. What about your friends? Did you guys even go out to the
No,
club?
we did.
No, he stayed and did class. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm kind of nervous that like that's how it's gonna turn into here. Like we're all gonna we're gonna be waiting in
man.
class, and then Sadie's gonna walk in. We're gonna
Structure. That martial arts is so known for structure and discipline.
I like that.
And I when I walked in, I saw that it just left such an impression on me.
Right.
That everyone could be like so in unison, and so focused on a common goal.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing I love about martial arts. Is it just brings the best out of so many people. A lot like this place here.
Yeah.
And that was and kind of segueing. That's kind of like what I was looking for when I came here to Fit. I was looking for a nice, comfortable environment. A family feel.
Yeah.
I love that you guys are a small business.
Yeah.
I walked in, I saw, oh, well, okay, I saw you guys on Facebook.
Yeah.
And stuff, and then you have little boys. I'm like, that's just so familiar for me. So this was a no-brainer. You guys have a great vibe here, so I'm truly blessed to be part of you guys.
Yeah, we're happy to have you with us.
yeah, we love
Right?
you. Your addition was very much so welcomed.
Thank you.
Now, growing up, were you always active?
No, I was I was man, super skinny, super, always pick last, in sports. So like I mentioned to you guys, like I mentioned to you earlier, I was very artistic. So I did a lot of visual arts, painting, photography, color pencil. I did a lot of that. It wasn't until I was like 17, like I told you, where I said, let me try this martial arts thing.
Right.
That was it. Yeah, and it turns out I found out I was really flexible. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was doing the splits and all that crazy stuff.
I know, we've seen you do the splits here in class.
Yes.
On leg
Yes.
days.
He was one of the first ones, like, what is he doing? Coach, you're not making us do that, right?
Yeah, so
Next station?
yeah, so I wasn't in fitness at all. I didn't do. I mean, whatever, like the stuff that you do in the neighborhood kids.
Yeah,
I
little
did,
kids sports.
Yeah, I did the
things like
basketball and
that.
the football in the street. I did all that.
Tag, hide and seek.
Oh,
Yeah, I did all that, but nothing structured like football or basketball or soccer or anything like that. Plus, I didn't have money for any of that stuff, and it was equipment and stuff. It was tight.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
tight. I grew up in Carroll City, so.
Yeah, what was your diet like growing up?
My diet growing up?
Yeah.
Oh, man. When you're talking about when I was like, a teenager, when your metabolism is super fast.
Right.
Oh, anything.
My metabolism was never fast.
Or just like in general,
mine was-
like, like family, because I know like for my family, like my culture, my mom's Colombian, my dad's American, so we had like, Colombian food, American food, but at the same time, my mom was like super healthy. So we always had fruits and vegetables, always. Like that was just how we ate. That's how my mom, that's how we grew up.
Okay.
So, I was lucky to have that because we didn't eat like Little Debbie's unless my dad got it.
Growing up, it wasn't that good. It was a Latin family, so a lot of rice, a lot of beans,
Yeah.
a lot of fried foods.
Yeah.
My dad worked for Pepsi for 25 years, so
nice.
he would, I know. So he'd come home with 2-liter bottles like crazy of Sunkist and 7-Up and Pepsi,
nice.
and yeah, I know.
Right?
But that's why I was so addicted to it,
Yeah.
But then I would say after meeting my wife and then we got married, and then her culture was totally opposite. Like there was no soda in the house. It was like a crime.
That's
it was
my
like
parents.
yeah. And then it was like, what do you mean you want white bread? No, we're having wheat bread, or we're having
Right.
multigrain. I was like, what? I didn't sign up for this. Yeah. So a lot of them, my kids are not gonna drink all this poison. I was like, oh, but I gotta, there was a compromise.
Right.
As
Of
usual,
course,
there was
yeah,
compromise.
yeah.
There was compromise. But definitely once I got married, it was a little bit. It wasn't as bad. It was a little bad, but not as bad as when I was younger.
Right.
Yeah.
And then like I told you, like when I was younger, I was bony, so I could eat like 10 tacos and not gain a pound. The good old days.
I envy that. Like, I wish that would have been my reality. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I still ate the 10 tacos. It was the second part that I couldn't figure out.
Right.
Now to
Just
gain
gained
that pound.
a pound or two or something.
Pound or 3, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
So what was your highest weight, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't mind at all. So, like I mentioned earlier, I did business sales, and that was shortly after my tenure at the karate school that I was teaching at. And what happened was, when I left that school, I took a serious pay cut, at least 20 grand. And then I got into that, and I had to hustle to try to at least get up to that level that I was shorted. Anyway, I was just, I was doing proposals, staying up late at night, calling leads. And, going appointment to appointment, you don't have time to like sit down and eat something good.
Yeah.
So I was just going through the drive-thru, give me a number 7, give me, and it was like breakfast, lunch, dinner. I got as high as 300 pounds.
Oh, yep, been there.
300 pounds. And I have another funny story for you. I think once I hit that point, my wife, she comes up to me and she's like, we need to have a talk. And this is a true story. When she came up and told me that, I actually had a jelly donut in my hand. I'm like, what do you want to talk about? that was at that moment.
I want to talk about that.
She goes, that. Maybe that's what prompted her to talk to me. But yeah, I remember that. I remember that
across
moment.
the room looking at you.
I was like,
eating that donut. You know what? We gotta talk.
So and again, like I was, I had a history of training and fitness and stuff, but I just let myself go because I was just so fixated on my financial goals that I forgot about balance. I forgot about my spiritual goals, my personal training, my family goals.
Right.
I just went focusing on financial. So then it kind of, boom, I put myself in a very detrimental position for my health. And she recognized that, and then she was just like, hey, listen, we need to change this. She goes like, I love you, but this is not good. You know, this is bad. You know, I didn't marry you. I didn't marry this guy. Mm-hmm. So I knew the remedy. I said, okay, this is what it's gonna take. I'm gonna have to train at least 2 hours a day. I'm not gonna, the free time that I do have is gonna be devoted to this, you know. Right. And she was like, I don't care, get it done. She was just that type of woman. God bless her soul. So that's what I did. I started training in the garage. I was doing the P90X. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I did 2 cycles of that.
So many of us have started there.
Everyone started that. Yeah. It was a great program.
That's how I really started.
I saw Jason's
and Jason
podcast.
Too.
Yeah. And I saw that he was in there too.
Yeah.
That's crazy that he was in there.
Yeah.
But I did 2 cycles of P90X. I did Insanity, one cycle of Insanity. I started doing road biking. And I got as high as the road bike. I'm very proud of. I actually got as high as 30 miles.
Wow!
Like I didn't know this, but like from Flamingo to A1A and back is 30 miles.
Shit.
Yeah, so I got that high. I went boom, boom. I mean, it took me a while. I was
to where? Say that again.
From Flamingo, all the way to A1A.
Yes.
And back.
Yes.
Is 30 miles.
Yes. Because we've done from our house to the beach, Hollywood Beach, and back was like 26, was 13 miles. Yeah, because we're just a little bit off. But we've done that on a Sunday. And
so
we stop and have breakfast though, because Breakfast Club.
That was the best. Yeah, that was the highest. That was the highest peak I've gotten as far as road biking. But it took me a while to get there. And
how tall are you? Right.
How tall am I? 6 feet.
6 foot. Okay.
6 feet. Yeah.
You guys are about the same height.
Yeah.
6'1".
Yeah. I don't know why. Like I look at you just sitting down. I'm like, he's like 6'5", 6'6".
No. Yeah, I have like a misleading body.
He carries his weight different. I mean, you guys carry your weight differently.
Yeah. A lot of people tell me, they're like, you're 230 or you're 250 or you're 260, wherever I was. I'm like, yeah. They're like, you don't look it. I'm like, well, trust me, the scale is telling me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so I got adamantium bones.
That's my go-to. I got adamantium bone. No, you're just fat. I don't even know what I was talking about. What was I?
The exercising, the biking, and stuff like that.
Yes. So I did the cycling. I got in the sweaty hot garage with no AC. Hitting the heavy bag. Of course I changed my diet. I started packing. What do you call it? Meal prepping.
Meal prepping.
I started meal prepping and stopped going through the drive-through. Yep. And it just started falling off. And then what happened was my goal was to get down to at least 220. And then that's when I said to myself, man, this is actually working. And then I wonder if I could get to 200. And I had to give myself like a crazy goal. Like, if I get to 205, which is fighting weight, which is light heavyweight, I'll jump in the cage. And I was like, win or lose, I don't care. I need something to aim for. There's some people that are like that you gotta have something to aim for.
Right.
So that's what I gave myself. And then sure enough, I got to when I had that premonition, it was about 250. And then when I was working my way down, I was like, oh, this is working, 225. I called the promoter. There was one in Orlando that was having a fight at a bar. And I called him up. I said, okay, I will be at 205 in 6 months. Put me down. I'm going to be there. And then I did it. I weighed in at 203.
Wow.
And walked out with the KO.
And I walked out with a KO. And I was hungry. I was hungry. And I was so grumpy. I remember. I wasn't a nice guy.
Yeah.
But still, it was very monumental for me. It was one of those goals that you put out there that just, let's see what happens. And
it seems crazy and it seems crazy. Wild, but at the same time, it was
doable.
Yeah,
and I did it.
That is so cool.
I did it, and I said, let me do one more, and I did it years later, but I still got it done.
You did it.
Yeah, I did it. Yeah. So
220 is my goal weight.
Is it?
And,
okay.
I remember Sandy and I texting, and she was like, so what's your goal weight? I was like, 220 right now is the goal weight, but we'll see what happens when I get there. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna reach out to no promoter and tell him I want to fight at 205, but you never know. Life might take me in a different direction.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. Like I was saying, once you start getting into your regimen and you start becoming super disciplined and consistent with your exercise and your diet, the weight a lot of times just falls off just naturally, because that's what your body's supposed to do.
Right.
If you have weight to lose, you will lose it as long as you're just consistent with.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you brought up the eliminating drive-throughs. Stop getting food from the drive-through, because that. Getting rid of fast food in general, I've seen a tremendous amount of results.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so bad. It bugs me when I see drive-thrus packed, because it's like,
God, imagine how it makes me feel.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm looking at it, I'm like, especially for someone like me that I would go to the drive-thru, and then pull into a parking spot and eat in the car. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it just bugs me. So I'm glad that you were able to kind of cut that out.
Yeah, I saw that was a major hole in the plan. So
Yeah.
I had to definitely do the meal prepping, especially in that point.
I remember when I was doing the cold sales and the copier sales for the very short period of time that I did do it. At the time, like I had bought a lunchbox that you plug into the car.
The lighter
thing, but it was like, I forgot if it was I don't think it was a cool box or a heat box. I don't remember what it was, but it was something because I was on the road all day long. So I was like, I need a way to keep, I think it was to keep the food hot or something.
Probably
like
warm it up, maybe.
Yeah, to warm it up. But I remember trying to get so creative because I'm on the road all day. I've always had good habits with eating, and fast food was just not an option for me. And also I was in a territory that I had no idea like where I was. So I was like, food was like, I don't even know. But yeah, you have to sometimes get creative, you know, with the way that you're going to eat and things like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So going into this kind of segues into your success with the New Year, New You Transformation Challenge that we just had.
Yes.
Talk to us about like what motivated you to be so successful in that, and what struggles you encountered, if any.
Well, like I said, when I first joined here, I wasn't really feeling comfortable with my weight. I was up to, I think, like 260, 270. I was inching back to that 289. Man, I had a lot of distractions, which I'll get into later, but that got me there. And I was like, this is not me. I need a change. I need something that's gonna get me back in shape and make me feel good. So basically, I saw you guys on Facebook, and I said, man, this looks like a good fit. You know, coincidentally, I don't know if you guys know this, but I was actually, this was going so well that I was actually considering taking this unit.
No way.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because my school was blown.
The universe. This is another one of those
and I was like, fuck, they took it.
Who are these people?
This was a Radio Shack.
Yeah.
And the Radio Shack finally left. And I was asking the landlord or whoever, hey, listen, is that unit still available? Oh no, there's a gym coming. I was like, really? Fuck.
God damn it.
And then, but yeah, I wanted to move my crowd program here because it was getting pretty tight. But whatever, the universe had other plans.
Yeah.
So I go, well, let me go check them out. So then when I walked in and looked, I said, okay, yeah, this is good. Okay, I'm still gonna get it, but a different way.
Right?
You know,
I remember when you came in that day.
You remember that?
Yeah,
remember
absolutely.
That?
Yep.
Yeah. And I guess so you understand why I joined the school. It makes people come to a fitness place for different reasons. Some because they want to lose weight. Some because they need the stress alleviation. Some of them just come just for social reasons. They just meet friends. You know. For me, it was mainly stress alleviation, and I just needed a place to just kind of like have my own space. So most people know here that my wife passed away recently. She died of ALS, and that was something that she got diagnosed with back in June. I'm sorry, she got diagnosed a year ago. So that was March 9th, 2020. But she was dealing with the symptoms a little further back, so about June of 2019. So since then, it was just constant, just basically becoming a caregiver. And you know, when you sign up for marriage, you know, it's for life, you know, and at least that's the way I look at it.
Of course, yeah.
And you know, my role changed. You know, it was like, listen, I'm the provider, I'm the father, but okay, now I got to be a caregiver. And I'm gonna be dead honest with you. I'm the worst. I have the worst bedside manner. You know, like I'm not very. I was like, walk it off, you know, like get them, you know. But I had no choice. Like I had to change, you know. Right. I had to change, and I'm glad I did. Anyway, you know, going through all the challenges that we were going through, taking care of her, I saw that it was just taking a toll on me. You know, I mean, I literally, the things I've had to do, you know, pick her up and move her, and bathroom breaks and showers and making her feel comfortable. It was a lot of movement. Fortunately for me, I'm blessed enough that I own my business, that I had great staff, that I had them pretty much running the program, and I'm home all day with her practically, and just, you know, running my business from the phone. Anyway, it was still taking a toll on me. So I said, listen, I need to do something, at least a break, to get away so I feel good, and at the same time, build myself, make me stronger, so when I come back, I can do a better job of being a caregiver for her. So that's what I did. I came here and I explained you that story. I don't know if you remember.
I do, absolutely, I remember.
And I was a wreck. I had a lot of weight. I had, I think, a shoulder issue, a knee injury. So, but I was building my strength. I was feeling good. I would go back, and I just felt so refreshed after class. Most people would be like, "Oh, I'm exhausted. I want to go take it. I want to fall on those bushes over there." I just felt free. I felt like, oh, great, like refreshed, charged, clear-headed. So I would go back home, and my home at the time, because it was under hospice care for so long, it was just like a hospital. We had medication everywhere, nurses coming in and out.
Right.
So it was just a different environment.
All during COVID, like peak
all
COVID.
During COVID. Yeah, and I tell people all the time, like, COVID really didn't affect me, like, mentally, because I had bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, here I was losing. I think we lost a total of 130 students, which is substantial.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. I didn't give it. In most cases, if my wife was fine, I'd be freaking out.
Yeah.
I'd be climbing the walls, but I didn't give a damn. I didn't care. I was like, I'll get some more later.
Right.
So I was dealing with her. But yeah, I just came here. I felt great. I felt strong. I met new people. People were all smiles and just making me feel good. So I was able to go back home and deal with it and be better for her and also for my kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys have been a blessing. I also want to take this opportunity to thank everyone that it's not just you, but you.
No, of course.
But everyone here at the gym that you guys got together and put together a nice little package for me and I really appreciate it. I got all the cards and it's very touching. Because even for the short amount of time that I've been here, I feel very embraced. I feel very, like, hey, listen, you're part of us now, and we got you. And I tell you, like, seriously, like, I'll do anything for you guys. Anything you guys need. I mean, I'm a master barbecuer. You guys want me to do a little catering? Let me know. Like, I'm down. Like, I just want to give back to you guys. Anything you guys need, please, I'm here for you. But seriously, I want to thank everyone at Fit4Lyfe. Some of you guys, like, don't even know me, which blew me away. Like, some of you don't even train in my class and still, he's one of us, I love that. I love that energy, and it's so refreshing to see that, in this day and age, with small businesses, Yeah. So thank you so much, guys.
Of course, you're very much loved and part of the Fit Fam, the community, and everything. And it was for me, I remember you walking in, sharing the story with me, and I was just like completely just brokenhearted, one, and also just like not really knowing what to do, like how to help, how to help and things like that. And I remember telling you, listen, anything you need, and anytime, because you told me you have a lot of rough nights, and I was like, anytime you have rough nights, just let me know. No late fees, things like that. Just just let me know, and all those things just to help you through that time. So it means a lot for you being with us, during all this time and continuing moving forward, and just knowing that we all care a lot about you.
Thank you. It means a lot. You're reminding me of those rough nights, man. Like.
Yeah, I remember you telling me some of them were.
Yeah, they were rough. There were nights that it was just massaging, muscular fasciculation, just to, there was the night, her crying and me crying, or the whole night, just massaging her for like 6-8 hours straight. Sleeping 10 minutes here, wake up, an hour, just I did that like 6 months straight. And man, I would still want to go to class because I needed I needed my sanity. So this was like my sanity. This was my release. So thank you.
Yeah, I know. It's like we said this was going to be a
I'm trying not
very
to.
emotional
I'm trying not to. But like it was a lot. And you don't really like. With ALS, man, it's hard because you don't see it. Let me take that back. You do see it.
Yeah.
And there's like nothing you can do about it. It's so sad. It's been around for 100 years. And they haven't. I mean, they've come up with different medications to help you deal with it, but I mean, they're nowhere close to it being totally gone.
Right.
I don't think it's something that a lot of people talk about or really know about either.
No.
Do you mind me asking what were like the first symptoms before she was diagnosed? Like how you kind of like led to, just out of curiosity.
Sure. So she got what was called a condition called foot drop, and that's where you lose the dorsal flexion on the top of your, like this is your foot here. I don't want to stand up, but like you can't lift up your foot off the ground.
Okay.
And we had just came back from a trip in, I think, Costa Rica. And, you know, we were thinking, and I asked her, did you fall or something? And she was like, no, I don't know. Maybe I tripped on a rock or something. I fell down, I remember. But she couldn't pick up her foot. So we thought initially, okay, maybe this is just like a muscular thing. Maybe you need a massage. Maybe there's a nerve that's blocked or something. But then it was getting worse, you know. She started going up her legs. She was having issues with the control of her quads and hamstrings, and then the other foot started doing the foot drop thing. So we started seeing various neurologists, and then we were thinking, okay, maybe it's something spinal, maybe it's something in her brain. And even the doctors really didn't know. They were like, what's going on? I mean, I think they did, but they didn't really want to like say an actual diagnosis until they knew for sure, and they didn't want to be like liable.
Right.
So they were just saying, listen, we got to do a lot of scans, a lot of tests. They were doing a lot of tests, a lot of blood work, and no one had nothing. So finally I was like, screw it, let's just go to UM. And I checked her in for a couple weeks or 2 weeks, and the whole department, they were just studying her case. And her case was so aggressive. I mean, usually when you're diagnosed with ALS, you're given a 3 to 5 year lifespan. Once they tell you have ALS, you're going to be gone for sure within 5 years, in most cases, right. 9 out of 10 times. My wife went through all the symptoms in 1 year.
Wow.
It was that aggressive.
Wow.
It was. I mean, when we walked through the door at UM, she was already in a wheelchair. And I remember the doctor walking in telling us, and I just, I was sitting in that room, and it was like, okay. And I didn't know that. I thought there was actually maybe a cure. Mm-hmm. And I asked the doctor, like, okay, so like, what do we do now? He's like, no, you don't get it. Like, that's it. Like, she's gonna die. Like.
Wow.
Oh my,
when you get hit with that, it's like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I'm sure it's a moment of just like, are you sure?
Yeah, it was
it's very.
It was very, you get kind of denial. She knew.
For sure, yeah.
She knew, because when she was going through all these symptoms, she's, always call it, check the WebMD. I might have this, I might have that, when they say LS, it was like, yeah. So I mean, I'll never ever forget the night that I told the kids that I had to sit down and tell them that. Like, I don't wish that on anyone. Like, that was so hard. But I knew I had to tell them, because for one, my kids, they're not babies. They're grown. Right. They know what's going on. But I wanted to tell them that same day, and I told them, and it was, of course, difficult. But they knew. I think they're troopers. I think they dealt with it real, as good as can be expected. They were very supportive all the way to the end, and she passed away recently on the 30th, finally. And people ask me all the time, how are the kids? I'm like, man, they're great. They're okay. They're because we've had our time to grieve throughout this whole
the year
process. Yeah,
the year.
So. People don't understand. Some people don't understand that it's what we're feeling is more of relief.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like we're glad she's not suffering anymore.
Right.
Of course, yeah.
That she's at peace, and we're okay with that. We're fine. And a lot of people don't get a chance to say goodbye. A lot of people don't get a chance to get their affairs in order. Mm-hmm. So in that sense, we look at it as we're truly blessed in that sense. We had time to have family come over every day, and that's probably the reason why I was tough to do the challenge, because I had family and friends bringing me food every day. I mean, they had us on what do you call it, the train, the food train.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
you had all
I didn't cook
delivery.
for a year.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Italian food, but I'm done with lasagna. But
I think I'd have to compliment you on your strength, and that being exemplified for your children in order for them to emulate that, because I had no idea when I first met you that any of this was going on, and I don't think very many lifers knew outside of whoever you told. Right. So like seeing you come to class and kick ass, or even in passing where you'd be at the 7:15 and I'd show up for the 8:15 class, and I'd see you leaving and you'd have a big old smile on your face and whatnot. It was comforting to find out after the fact, like, this guy is strong. Yeah. So even when we got to the end of the transformation challenge, and I found out who the winners were, and I wrote your piece, That's why I incorporated it, like, no, all jokes aside, like, let me not be funny for his announcement, because
thank you.
Yeah, I was like, there's no need to, I don't know, I felt like it was better to compliment you on your strength and resolve throughout this entire process. And I remember being very shocked that this was all even going on. I'm like, how does this man continue to come to the gym, right? Yeah. And kick ass like he does, and not be different to anybody. You know what I mean? Like, not that you should come in here and play the victim or anything like that.
I know what you mean.
Like, as though it's not happening. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. You know what? I tell people this, I get asked that all the time. A lot of my martial arts training has really helped me find out a lot about my character and how to deal with adversity. But most importantly, I would say my motivation is my children. And the reason I say that is because mom's not here, but I'm still here. And so I want my son to grow up, and I want him to be the man that I am. I want my daughter to find a husband like me. I want to set that bar. And I think I did a good job.
I would agree.
And that's something that I think that it's sad, because a lot of times in relationships you get hit with challenges, and it's so much easier to run away and be like, and a lot of times, I don't want to say they run away for selfish reasons. A lot of times people run away, or they like, let's say a husband finds out his wife is dying of cancer or whatever, and a lot of times, I didn't know this, but a lot of them leave. I couldn't imagine doing that. That is not a thought in my mind at all. I couldn't imagine doing that. But a lot of times they just can't handle it,
right?
And they'll get called every name in the book, but they just can't deal with it. Not that I could deal with it. It's just I didn't have a choice. Right. That's what I tell people. Like, I didn't have a choice. They said, no, you had a choice. No, I didn't. Like, you don't understand. Like, my children are here. Right. They're watching me. They're looking at me. And they can never say that I wasn't there for them. They can't say that ever. Right. No matter what goes on in the future, Dad was there for Mom. So that was my motivation. So yeah,
that's huge.
It is. It's the truth. That's the only thing that kept me going. I thought, okay, well, they're here, and they're, I want to make sure I treat their mom right, and my wife, and I love her, and I want them to keep loving me.
Absolutely.
I need them. I need them. And Mom
and setting those standards, and letting, like you say, letting your kids see, like, this is what you're supposed to do.
Exactly.
It's so important as a parent too to set those examples for your kids, because there's so much going on in our outside world that they see, that outside forces, and what really matters is parents, those leaders, those guides, who they look up to, that are setting those examples. So that's amazing.
Thank you.
Good job.
So
an amazing job.
Yeah, amazing. Oh, absolutely amazing. Especially given the fact that all this is going on, and you're still coming to the gym, and on top of coming to the gym, you're still participating in this challenge. So being with on the food train, and having all this food delivered to you.
Yeah, and I still had to do the challenge.
I still had to do the challenge.
Not
only do it, but like
kill it, right? Slaughter the challenge.
I did the challenge, and I was like, out of all this food, I was like, okay, if I take off the cheese of the lasagna, and I just
He's doing the macros.
I was doing the macros, and I'll be honest with you, when I first got into it, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna have to do like a bunch of these frozen foods, and I talked to you about it. You're like, you want to stay away from that. You want to do the actual fresh food.
Yeah.
And it's true, but I just didn't have the time.
Right.
I just didn't have. I did the best I could. And actually, when I lost a lot of weight in the beginning, I think the first week was like 12 pounds or something like that.
I remember I was buttering. I was like, what? I'm kicking my own ass. How did you get rid of 12?
The first 2 weeks was like 12 pounds. Yeah, because I'm sure you made major food changes.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of it was I cut off the soda, all the sweets. I mean, I was always like, pull up, get a honey bun here and there.
Yum.
Right.
I cut that out. Cold turkey. Yeah. Soda, sweets. I got the 32-ounce water bottle. Was going for 4 a day. And then the food that I would get, I would just kind of okay, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. and I would just watch my weight every day, and that was pretty much it. That's all I did. And train, of course,
and come out here and sweat.
Come here and sweat and go 100%.
Yeah,
that's all I did.
Yeah,
you know, it's like I know for me, any minor inconvenience and like my life is over. I need to go and drink. I need to go and smoke. I need to go and eat. I need to go and have soda. You mean so like. I don't know. Kudos to you, man. Like I know you've probably heard that a lot of people be like, "Oh, your strength, but like, I'm proud to know you.
Thanks, man.
And to use you as an example that like,
it's possible.
There's nothing that can prevent you from doing what you feel your body deserves.
Right.
So kudos to you, my guy.
Yeah, I think when you have people that go through certain circumstances, all sorts of different situations, just completely different off topic. But like when Jason was doing that 4x4x48 challenge, and he was running 4 miles every 4 hours and stuff like that, and then like I had to like go run like one time with him. Like I couldn't even imagine like complaining about like running or in the middle of the day because he was going through so much during this time that I was like, I'm not even going to verbalize anything. Like I can feel the pain and stuff, but there's just no way that I can even say it because he's experiencing something way worse than I am. That there's just no way that I'm going to say it. Now after when it was over, then I was like, by the way,
I don't know how you did that.
3 p.m. run was not fun.
Now that the coast is clear, let me let you know.
But in the moment, it's like, I mean, and those types of situations and circumstances, it's important like to share our stories with other people because people don't realize sometimes they think their situations are like bad because they can't have, let's just say on a diet, you can't eat fast food, not realizing that somebody is maybe allergic or can't have this or that. So it's important to share those things so that people can see it and understand the different circumstances.
Yeah. One thing that I want to point out that I've noticed so far just within this conversation is that it seems as though one, we know exercising releases endorphins and makes you feel good. Like I've never walked out of here and outside of like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. I feel like this terrible, but like I feel great, and it stretches out throughout the rest of the day. I have energy and I feel good. But what I wanted to recognize was that even with that first story you told us, going through that first heartbreak with that girlfriend, and you going into that studio and working out, it seems as though working out is almost like your go-to, or something that you use to get over, whereas plenty of other people may have unhealthy coping mechanisms.
Yeah,
that's actually a good point. I mean, I've always found solace and serenity investing in myself, whether it be here at Fit4Lyfe or just hitting a bag. I mean, you'll feel fantastic throwing a punch. I don't know if you've hit somebody in the face before, but it feels good.
I've wanted to.
Like you do some, or even you getting hit, or you being like, or you doing
less fun, but yes.
Or you doing like, let's translate it. Let's say you're doing 50 burpees in a row. You're going through strenuous, quote unquote torture, but you're feeling life.
Yes.
Yeah. You're feeling close. You're feeling your, and then at that moment you're like, man, Sandy's over here. Amanda's on me 5 more. So then you're like, oh, and then you do the 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you discover about yourself. You find out a little more about your character.
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason why I enjoy it, because it's a lot of self-discovery. Whether they be in just regular functional fitness or martial arts.
Yeah.
Right.
I saw a study or a post on Facebook yesterday about some study using rats and mice and scientists putting them in some container with water to see how long they would give up before they how long they would tread water before they couldn't any longer. And then sort of like I think 3 minutes or something like that, and then they would take them out of the water, give them a few minutes to rest, and then put them back into the same predicament, and that they would tread water for like 60 minutes. So like the takeaway from that study was that like the mice held on to hope for a lot longer and were able to tread water and push past what their original limits were because they had a feeling that something good was going to come to them.
Okay.
So
wow.
like
that's interesting study.
Yeah, it was amazing. Like I read that and I was like, why would you tell me that after running a 5K? Now I feel like I gotta run a 10K. Like, this is not good news. But like it seems like speaking to like the 5 burpees, the extra burpees that Amanda was doing, is like, you know, pushing past your limits to really learn about what you're capable of. And, you know, David Goggins speaks to that a lot.
Yeah.
He does,
And, you know, Sandy, thank you for that audiobook. That thing has been motivating the F out of me for the past few weeks.
I tell everybody, listen, it's interesting because, like I've told you, I've gifted it to like a certain people, and I don't know what really inspires me to do that, but it's almost like it's like in a moment in time, like I feel like somebody, like they need to listen to this audio, and so I'm like, here, you need to listen to this, and here you go.
You will reap the rewards.
It was life-changing for me when I listened to it, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like I need to share this with the world, because this can't be hidden. Like, people need to hear this story and to see how much more you are capable of doing despite the things that have happened to you in your life, you know? And so, yeah, I
got to a certain point in that book, and then we had that challenge on Saturday a couple weeks ago where I got first place in the first round and then third place in, you know, so I was impressed with the fact that I placed top 3 both rounds. You know, I was like, I wouldn't have done this months ago. And then we were talking about, like, you know, the performance that I had, and I was like, yeah, that's all Goggins. Like,
pushing past your limits.
Yeah, like, you know, like, it hurts, but
knowing that most people only give 60% of their abilities. You know, that always runs through my head whenever I'm running a race or working out. It's always like, am I giving higher than the 60% of the average person? Because usually we stop around that percentage because we think we can't do more, when you really have like 40% left in the tank to push yourself even that much more. And it's like, how do you know? And I think you know when you've pushed yourself to that point, you know, like you have to push, like you have to drive, you have to push and know that you're capable of doing more.
And you have to have a cause too. I mean, cause creates motivation. So usually, if you have something in front of you, it forces you to, you know, push yourself.
Absolutely.
Another quick funny story. So I was doing bear crawl races at my school, and I have a group of moms. They're awesome.
Hold on, time out. I'm gonna let you finish that. You gotta stop with these ideas, bro. Bear crawl races are not gonna be good.
It was bear crawl races. Bear crawl races. We gotta change recipes. So I had these women. They're moms predominantly in that class, and I set like 4 cones. And I said, okay, and it wasn't even a big track. It was
He's
just
even
like
giving me the details of how.
Yeah, real small.
Go ahead, keep going.
And I go, look, I'm gonna time you on your first lap. So they did the first lap, and let's say Tanya, she did 12 seconds. Boom. I'm like, great, okay. I let her rest for like 30 seconds, or no, 20 seconds. And I said, okay, this next round, you have to go at 10. You have to get to at least 10. Or I'm gonna make you do it 3 more times. And if you make the 10, we're done.
Ooh.
So I created that cause, you know.
Yeah?
Man, she came in at 8 seconds.
Nice. See, look at that. It's from 12 to 8.
Yeah.
No more stories, bro.
She's taking notes. So that's
I'm actually, like, my kids' class would love this.
No, it's fun. That was a perfect. I got tons of stuff, but that was a perfect example of what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes your body will do what you can do, but man, your mind will. You'll be surprised. You can do an extra 10%.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
Yeah,
that's all
I agree. I agree. 100%. Agreed.
So now with the challenge results, you got first place. That was great. Fantastic. What advice can you give for someone looking to compete with you next year?
Don't sign up. Eat as much as you can. Bulk up.
That was the best advice
No, I'm kidding. No, man. You know what the truth is? Be very patient, because you didn't gain all that weight fast. It took time. And celebrate the little things, especially celebrate the little things. So like, and what I mean by little things is like, you know, maybe you couldn't do push-ups, and now you're doing them on your knees at least, or maybe you finally, instead of like a personal thing for me, I was always coming in last running. And I'm coming, you know, depending who shows up. I'll come in maybe second or third, sometimes first. So I'm like, okay, I'm not last anymore.
Right.
So like, if you look at those little things, maybe
Keep
the way,
going.
maybe your jeans fit a little better.
Yeah.
Like, that's more important. That's the biggest takeaway you gotta do. If you do that, it keeps you in the fight.
Yeah.
It keeps you in the fight, and then it just like trust the process.
Yeah.
You know,
And
do the meal prepping and do the training, and it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I think what's gonna carry you over those rough patches is celebrating the little things. I think that I would say that's the most important thing.
That's huge. That's huge because like I am victim, or not victim, but like I tend to feel guilty about celebrating those little things, like coming first while running. You know, it's almost like, sort of like, do I feel like I'm showing off, or I don't know. Like, people tend to make comments jokingly,
Sure.
as we're passing each other, and like, oh, look at this guy, and it's not that it hurts me, but it's like it reaches a certain point to me where it's like, damn, am I? It makes me second guess myself. Like, am I just doing this to show off, or am I doing this to better myself? And I have to remember that I'm doing it to better myself. I'm not doing it to, I'm not coming to class just to say I'm coming to class. I'm coming to class to kick my own ass, because if not, they're gonna do it anyway. Like,
I say celebrate as much as you can, as long as you're not hurting anyone.
Right.
As long as what you're doing is with the intention to bring yourself up, you're fine. You can do anything you want, as long as you're not stepping on anybody.
Right.
It's fine.
Tripping people.
Yeah, no, you're not kicking them. They fall in the bush.
Nancy Kerrigan.
Or SP falls in the bush.
Right. Is that how you're getting in first place in these runs? I'm just kidding.
I'm handing out dollars. Just let me come in first. So with what you learned in the challenge, is there anything that you plan to continue doing?
I want to definitely get back into my road biking. I want to do that, and especially now that I have my freedom back, quote unquote, my time. I want to start doing that, and like I mentioned earlier, I want to go into running, but little by little. I want to start doing I think I signed up for that what do you call it? It's like not Spartan race.
Oh, the Goliath.
The Goliath.
Awesome.
Oh, sweet.
We're all doing it.
I signed up for that, and that's how I am. Like, I don't know what it is. But if everybody's going there, okay, what am I doing? Okay,
I know, don't worry.
So I already signed up, I paid, and I don't even know what it is. I have no idea.
Me neither. Don't feel bad. It's only my first one. I've never.
But if you guys are doing it, then I trust you. If you think I can do it, let's go.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be great. I mean, it's a local obstacle course race, so it's nice, and it supports the Sheridan House right here in Dayton.
Oh, right.
Right. So which is a great cause also, and so the great thing about it is it's very friendly to beginners, because there's nothing that you're not obligated to do anything. There's a lot of beginners there, racing and running and stuff like that. And it's really not something like I try to tell people, because they're like, oh, but I don't run. I'm like, but listen, you're going to be maybe jogging a couple feet, doing an obstacle, jogging a couple more feet. You're not continuously running.
Right.
Like, some of it you're walking.
It's not a half marathon.
You're
marathon.
Right. You're waiting, to take your turn to do like the obstacle. But the cool thing is that you're doing things that you wouldn't normally be doing, and you're challenging yourself.
Yeah.
To try out these cool things, up and over walls, monkey bars, things like that.
Sounds fun.
So it is. And it's like, it brings out the kid in you.
Yeah.
And that's the cool thing, that afterwards, when you cross that finish line, it's like, it's like a kid, like it's really cool.
I really want to set up like the whole podcast setup out there after the finish line, maybe out in the parking lot, wherever, and then interview every lifer that
that would be cool.
that got
nice.
done with it.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be really fun.
Yeah,
really fun.
that would be cool.
Catch my breath first, of course, because
Of course.
how often do you work out between either running or working out here, or doing the martial arts or the road biking?
I try to train every day at least an hour, depending on how I feel. Sometimes I'll do a 2 a day, but I also listen to my body. There's some days that are like
Clutch.
Like I'll say, like there's an infamous Thursday night open mat that we have at Jiu Jitsu that all the killers come out. And man, at the end of that session, I'm spent.
He said
so
all the killers.
That's what I heard. That's all I heard was all the
and
killers.
I'm not
I actually want to go and see what's going on.
All the top guys show up that day,
cool.
and the reason why they come, because it's open mat, so you can just fight the whole hour. Like, there's no instruction.
You just need to go.
Just show up, put your gi on, get your belt, and we go. So at the end of that, I'm done. I'm exhausted. And then so sometimes Friday I'm like I'm locked up, and I love D's class. But the next morning I'm like, cancel. I can't get out of bed. I'll see you next week, and then so it depends. I listen to my body. If there's sometimes I may have to take 1 or 2 days off, but I get back into it. I'm 45. But I don't use it as an excuse. Like, I try to keep up with the 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
Even like when I used to compete, I would say no, go with the Masters division or the senior division. Like, I want to go with those guys. Right. If I lose, I don't care. I want to challenge. So so that's what I try to do. An hour to 2 hours a day. I try.
What are your current eating habits?
You know what's funny? You asked that today. So today, I actually got on the scale. I go, I wonder what I weigh, and I'm right on the 236 mark, which was what I finished at the end of the challenge.
Nice.
Like, so I didn't gain, I didn't lose.
Okay.
All things considered, even like eating out and all the stuff like that. But I think I attribute that to sticking to the benchmarks, which is the water, and leaving the honey buns alone and the little Debbie snacks and the soda. Like, I mean, I had some here and there, but I didn't go crazy.
Mindful.
Yeah, mindful. But so I'm still at my celebrated weight of 236, but I still want to get to that 220. Because I want to say I read somewhere, and I've heard like, okay, if you're 6 feet, you're supposed to be like at 185.
180. Yeah.
No, I ain't happening.
No, right.
Yeah,
No,
I can't
don't think
do
so.
that. No, yeah, I'm like,
that would be like,
that's not happening.
My head's gonna look way too big on that frail body.
Yeah.
No, I don't want it.
And in my profession, it's not too good to be too small.
Right.
I mean, there's guys that come in my school, and they, I gotta be able to handle myself. I got big guys come in too, a lot of law enforcement guys. So it's kind of like, if I'm 185 and they're throwing me all over the place.
yeah, it's
not a good look.
I'm not learning from you. Yeah, it's not a good look. So 220 is like the happy medium. So that's my goal. So so
You're close.
yeah.
Considering,
Yeah.
close.
Absolutely. So I gotta get back aggressively to the meal prepping.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I gotta do.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna talk with you about that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
If there's anyone to talk to about it,
That's the biggest thing. I mean, really just meal prepping, being consistent, trusting the process.
Yeah.
It's like over and over and over again, but the rewards are just so satisfying, and you just feel so accomplished knowing that you have control over that aspect, considering everything else going on, which is great. That's awesome.
And I know we're talking about the eating habits and whatnot, but like, what are your guilty pleasures? What are your go-to if I don't care about anything?
Little Debbie's and honey buns. You said it 10 times.
I know. Well, but that may not be all.
No, but specifically, the nutty bars from Little Debbie.
Yeah, the nutty bars. Yeah,
that with a chocolate milk.
You need to go. Have you been to Burger Stop?
No.
In Fort Lauderdale? Oh, you need to go to Burger Stop, and you need to get yourself a Nutty Buddy milkshake.
Nutty Buddy milkshake.
Really? That is mixing all the things you just said.
You're my coach.
I know. This is gonna be your guilty pleasure.
Okay. All right.
You go and enjoy.
All right.
It's out there on I think it's on Sunrise Boulevard. I think so. Sunrise or Oakland, somewhere over there.
All right. I gotta check that out.
Yes, Burger Stop. BGR Stop.
That'll be my
Burger Stop.
Yeah.
And we've gone there a couple times. Like Jason and I used to burger hop, and we used to go every weekend. We would go to different places here in South Florida, different burger places to try it out. And it was always those places that have those really cool, crazy burgers and milkshakes and stuff. And we found Burger Stop, and we've been there twice, 2 or 3 times, and they make these really funky shakes. And for us, I'm like a 1, 2. Let me just try it, and that's it. I'm super controlled even when I go out to eat, but it's completely worth it, 100%, because it's so good.
That'll be when I hit 220.
Yes.
That's where
There we go.
That'll be my bench. That'll be my
Yes.
If you want somebody to go with, let me know. I'm with you.
And then they have, I know, right? They have these loaded tots, and they have burgers that are just.
Sandy, you gotta stop.
Listen, when he hits 220, we're all gonna go celebrate.
We're all going.
Hey, but the sooner you hit 220,
the sooner we get to go.
I'm gonna get there. I will get there.
Right?
You know what? When you say stuff like that, I believe you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
1000%.
Shout out to Christy too. She's looking amazing.
Yeah. Right?
Shout out to Christy.
And she's staying.
You're a co-champion.
Like she
That's
said,
right.
she's just staying.
She's doing great.
Staying consistent with the things she was doing before without feeling deprived.
You should have seen us when we went out as the Breakfast Club.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, her and I were both
looking at each other
man, this of all places, why does this place put the calories on there?
I hate when they do that.
They list it for you.
Yeah, some places
it makes a difference.
Oh, it was so bad.
Yeah.
We were looking at us how is this the one
and
with the least
sometimes
amount
I'm
of calories?
how do these egg whites have 560 calories? I'm I don't understand that.
It's because it's half butter.
Right, it's the butter, the oil, the other stuff. Which is why I try to tell people when you go out to eat, you have to specifically tell them what you want. So if I go out somewhere, it's always egg whites, no oil, no butter, no salt.
Oh wow.
Because what they do is they add, even though you're eating egg whites and you're I'm eating healthy, it's great, but you're not realizing they're using butter or oil in the pan. So I'll tell them, no oil, butter, and I'll be and you could be, even if they give you, most places don't give you any issues, but if they do, I'm allergic to it. That's it. you know?
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, so you can do those. Toast, dry toast, because they always put butter on it.
And not
Drown
like
it.
a
They
little
drown
bit.
it.
Yeah, like I don't know if you see the
Always.
butter rollers that they use to put
The bagel shops with the cream cheese. Wow.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Like a little bit, and they still give you a lot when you say a little bit.
Yeah.
It's still a lot. But
Yeah, they don't understand that.
it looks like a Whopper.
Right?
Yeah.
2 thin slices of bagel and then like a block.
Yes. A big block.
I don't like this. All right, so now it's time for the this or that food edition.
Okay.
Doritos, nacho or Cool Ranch?
Nacho.
Okay. Wrong, but that's all right.
What about my choices?
We actually haven't gone over those yet.
But you can't ask me about Doritos.
It's
gonna be-
quinoa chips, salted or unsalted?
Or bread. Ezekiel or
Ew, no.
Literally.
I had that once, and that was it. Never again.
This is
I was like, I felt like a horse. What is this?
This is a crouton. What is it?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Barley. I'm sorry. All right.
Okay, sorry.
Tacos, hard shell or soft?
Hard.
Okay. Pizza or nachos?
Pizza.
My guy, yes.
So, come on.
All right, right on. I love it. Wings or burgers?
Wings.
My guy. Now, when it comes to those wings, flats or drums?
Drums. But I'm recently adapted to flats.
Okay, so like I love flats, and I am a firm believer. I will die on this sword. Flats are better than drums. But if you like drums, that's perfect because if we can go out to eat,
Yes.
you can eat all the drums, I can eat all the flats.
Yes.
It works out perfectly. But also, flats are always better than drums.
Well,
Especially 'cause
I
you
like
can rip it
the
apart and it
sauce.
just-
Well, I like the sauce on the side, so the drum seems better
For dipping.
That's why I like
See?
the drums.
That's fair. But like once you get all the meat off the bone, you can dip.
That's pretty messy though. It's kind of messy.
I mean, but I don't go to eat wings and like
I'm like,
With a white glove
Wait,
service.
no.
right. Pat in the corner of my mouth.
That's true. Yeah, good point.
Now, when you eat wings, ranch or blue cheese?
Oh, ranch.
Yes.
Yeah, ranch.
finally, you got one.
Yeah, I can't do blue cheese.
Yeah, blue cheese
I
is
love
gross.
blue cheese.
I can't do blue cheese.
Blue cheese isn't gross, but like the less chunky, the better. If you
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can't do
There's a
it.
lot
For
of
me,
stuff
it's
in there. A lot of little-
celery or carrots.
Water with a straw or without. Like,
Coffee.
With lemon or
hot
without
cold.
lemon?
all right. Now, when it comes to pizza, pineapple, yes or no?
No,
Oh,
no, can't do it. It's
no.
a crime.
It's a crime?
It's a
Really?
crime.
Like you
It has no business being in the same building.
Come on, bro. That is
No
so
business. It is
unfair.
disgusting.
It's not disgusting. Like I can understand why people say like I don't like hot pineapple. I get it. You know, like that's fine. But like to say it has no place on
It
pizza.
shouldn't be in the building.
Do your kids eat pineapple on their pizza?
No.
Oh, no.
No,
Absolutely
no.
not. That is a
They
crime.
wouldn't be my kids. They'll be out there panhandling.
Mommy's baby, daddy's maybe.
Yes, there you go.
Now, ice cream or cake?
Cake, Publix cake.
Oh,
All right,
yes.
solid.
See?
Publix cake.
That's
Yeah.
it's got to be like a
It
southeastern
has,
thing.
yeah, that
It is.
Once you have Publix cake, that's
There's
it.
no
Yeah.
going back.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that Publix makes
That's it. I know.
that I don't enjoy. You mean like I've never gone to Publix and ordered anything.
The icing.
The icing is
Yeah.
It's addicting.
Correct.
There's something in there.
it's
Yeah.
big time. I was so addicted to it that I went in high school, I went and just asked for icing and they were like, what? And so they were like,
Those
well,
squeezing in your
yeah,
mouth.
they were like, well, I guess we could sell it to you. So
Like
they
shots at
they
the
put a
club.
whole bunch in a container and they sold it for like $2, and now they sell it at the store. You could buy just the icing.
Just
Wow.
buttercream.
So you could buy just the
Just the
buttercream. So
buttercream.
now Jason has made me like a cake and iced it with the Publix icing.
So it's just icing.
Just icing.
Just icing.
Yep.
So she takes her Ezekiel bread and
And I will
And dip it in the icing.
my carrots and the icing. Yes.
Yeah, we gotta have a talk, Sandy.
I know.
We're not gonna do this on a public forum. Like, this has got to be something personal. We're gonna stage an intervention behind that door. Like,
Right?
well, I don't have any more questions for you, sir. Coach, you got anything else for him?
I don't think so.
Yeah, this was
We
great.
did-
Fantastic. This was
I
a
know.
lot of fun.
This was a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
And you're right. It just got real relaxed.
Yeah,
along
right?
the
We
way.
told you,
It was
yeah.
great.
And this is our finale, guys.
one.
Season 1 finale, ending in with an awesome podcast.
Thank you guys.
absolutely.
Thank
I
you so
know.
much.
Thank you so
I
much.
appreciate the opportunity. It was
Absolutely, man. I loved having you on here, and I knew it was going to be a great episode.
Glad.
Even before when we came up and started out with the whole idea for doing the podcast. I was like, this will be a good one.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming out. Thank you for sharing candidly and openly. And continue to kick ass, man. You're definitely an example here.
I'll try my best. Thanks so much, guys.
220, so we can go have some burger stop.
We're gonna do it.
Peace out,
folks.
guys.
Be safe.
Bye.
Stay fit. Bye.